This is pretty much as basic as you'll see it with the new Colorado ZR2, and so this gives you Raptor-like performance at a lower price tag. I'll include a link to the Sky Chevy here in Provo's website in the description down below. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed. Fuel economy 17 around town, 17 on the highway, with power outputs being 310 horsepower and then 430 pound-feet of torque. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Now, I like how you have that blacked out piece in the center that's raised. It makes it look a little bit more aggressive. The light's super sharp as well. You can see the grille here has the blacked out element with the Chevy flow tie. Got a little bit of red in the center, ZR2 logo. We've got recovery points down below, fog lights, underbody protection too. And altogether, a very aggressive stance. Tire and wheel setup is 285 by 70 by 17, so almost a 33, and well, they'll call it a 33-inch tall tire. Good tires either way, and I do like the wheel design. Got a little ZR2 logo on it too. Very chunky fender flares. You can see we've got the rock grill protection on the side too. Multimatic shocks in the rear, and then this is a leaf sprung truck. It also has a pretty level stance front to rear. When it comes to key fob features, we've got the Chevy bow tie there on the back. We have our lock and unlock function on the front with the remote start. Protection from the factory. This also has an outlet built in, and then on the tailgate you've got some drainable storage and a ruler. The tailgate itself is very light, Chevrolet stamped into the back, and then you got a blacked out bumper. That will cap things off for the exterior. Let's now check out the interior. You've got the gray with the neon stitching there on the door panel. That theme continues on to the seats. They are perforated down the center. The glass in the back does open, but it is still manual. Being a mid-sized pickup truck, it is a little bit more cramped here in the back, but I do technically fit. Also, we've got some vents here in the rear. We also have some charge ports down below. But headroom, it's not massive, but it works. Keyless entry for up front. Let's check it out. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. We also have memory seats built in from the factory, and then the front window, the driver window, is automatic, and more of that neon stitching there on the front door panel. 1287 is the payload capacity with this truck. And then the seats perforated down the center, more of that neon stitching. There's power adjustments on the side with lumbar support too. Passenger seat's manual with the adjustment. And then off to the left of the steering wheel, we do have trailer brake controls. And start her up. Soft touch trim all around the steering wheel. You've got radio controls on the back. On the front face, you've got practical controls for like the heated steering wheel, for the center screen, your cruise control there off to the left-hand side. Full digital gauge cluster. You can also change what the screen displays. So it is customizable in that sense, and that is one of the biggest benefits of the full digital. This is also equipped with a 360 camera system. I don't think this one has the, it doesn't have the underbody cams, just the standard setup. Now, you do have some physical controls at the bottom of the screen for the climate, dual zone climate, heated and ventilated seats, little radio control. But the screen itself is quick to respond, has a shortcut bar, also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built in. ZR2 there on the dash. Now, I've got some physical controls for some important features. If you want to add an auxiliary item to roll down all the windows, auto stop start. And yes, this does have diff locks front and rear. Phone charging pad up front. We got the shifter for the 8-speed, got a manual function. And then you'll notice we've got our drive line select, part-time four-wheel drive system, but it does have auto. And then your drive mode is just twisting that little dial. Some cup holders behind the whole setup. Plenty of storage in here. I do like the neon stitching. Pretty cool looking. And just a regular rear view mirror. 2026 ZR2, 54,610. Let's see how the Colorado performs. Let us set off in the ZR2 without the jounce bump stops. So that is a bit of a difference with this one compared to the first one I reviewed. And when it comes to on-road driving, what the heck? Something's knocking around in the back. Anyways, the jounce bump stops aren't really going to have a big benefit because those are going to help with huge compression. So off-road, right, fantastic. Great system. On-road, you're paying extra money for something that you're not going to really use. It's very rare there's a big enough bump on-road to actually hit the bump stop with a car. I mean, unless you're flying over train tracks or something like that, which, hey, it's fun, I get it. But not necessary. Not necessary at all. Now the torque this thing has It's impressive. This 4-cylinder, although it feels kind of lackluster in the half-ton truck, feels strong in the Colorado, in the mid-size. Even having to move 33s, it still feels more than powerful enough. It is having no trouble moving these pretty big tires. And it handles pretty well. Man, yeah, it does have good torque. It's got really good torque. I like this little kind of sporty looking gauge. It's fun. Makes this feel like more of a, I don't know, sports truck. It is kind of, in a way. And I will say, on road, having the Multimatic shocks, it makes this drive a little bit less truck-like, and it's in a good way. You've got all that travel, and you still have leaf springs in the back, so the back end's going to kind of bump around a little bit, but the Multimatic shocks kind of help it level, so you have a lot more control with that rear end. So what you feel is it just feels planted. I wonder if they're doing, let's see. Yeah, double pane glass on the ZR2. I was gonna say the cabin seems, not in that back one, the cabin seemed pretty quiet, and that explains it. They're doing the double pane glass. Seeing that in more and more cars. Don't be fooled by the double pane glass. Not really, but it's one way that an automaker kind of makes a thing feel more luxurious without adding, like, and it is nice having less sound come through, but yeah, it's kind of a thing that's making a sweep throughout the car industry. Whoever's the double pane glass salesman, I guess you're doing a pretty good, salesman or saleswoman I should say, I guess you're doing a pretty good job, because I'm seeing it in so many vehicles. And I mean, everyone's got to be getting their windows from the same people, because this feels like, when I touch this, it doesn't feel any different in thickness or anything compared to any other car. They all feel like they're pretty much the same exact, like all the windows in every single car I've noticed, they feel like they're the same material and build and everything. Anyways, ZR2 Colorado, very capable. And if you get this more baseline version, save yourself quite a bit of money. You get very similar capabilities to a Ranger Raptor at a slightly lower price tag, and obviously it's more accessible because you can just walk into a Chevy dealer and buy one today. You don't have to get on a list and wait 6 to 12 months to get one.